Jennifer Bourget here. Hope you didn't miss me too much that day that I was off after doing VED, Video a Day Challenge. But I'm back, and today I'm going to be talking about one of the things I get asked the most, more than anything else, at least when it comes to making videos, is what kind of camera do you recommend getting, or should I just use my phone? A lot of people are wanting to start doing video, a lot of my blogger friends, or maybe you want to record your family more and you're trying to decide which kind of camera to get. So I'm going to be comparing 3 different cameras today. 2 of them I use most often, and then one of them is one that most of us have in our pocket, our phones. So I should just go ahead and say that the 4th camera that's up here right now, this is my favorite camera for everything all around pictures, video. It's my EOS 5D Mark IV. It's not my favorite, however, when it comes to vlogging, and I'll explain why in just a little bit. But first I'm going to tell you about the cameras that we're comparing. I have the iPhone 7 Plus. This has 2 lenses on this side, the Canon EOS 80D, and the Canon PowerShot G7X. So these are the 3 different cameras here. I have one more over here. Canon sent me the EOS M5 to test out this month, along with the PowerShot G7X. And after a couple weeks, I decided that I like the PowerShot more. So even though I love this camera for pictures, the interchangeable lenses, this also has a flip screen, although this flips down, and I believe the new M6 that's coming out soon, the screen flips up, just like the PowerShot. So maybe I'll try that one out and compare it later. But for the sake of this review, I'm gonna be comparing the first 3 cameras. I'm gonna take a break just for a second. I forgot to mention that although I love Canon, I give them so much of my money, and I partnered with them in the past, this video is completely unbiased, unsponsored, brought to you by yours truly. So first up, the iPhone 7 Plus. I've really enjoyed this phone, and I like the fact that this has 2 lenses, one that shoots, you know, like the regular camera phone that we're used to, and one that's like double the length, it's a longer length lens, and then you can also do the cool portrait mode on it. So that's been a lot of fun. Right now I'm using it as a remote control to control my EOS 5D Mark IV because I'm setting this up by myself. I have my daughter helping me out, but I'm able to change my settings on here and things like that. So that's what's up on my phone right now. But when it comes to the video on this itself, there are some pros and cons to this. Obviously, one thing I love about this is that it's always on me. It's in my pocket, it's really small, and if you already bought it, this cost me a little over $1,000 because I got the one with the most space, and I paid for it up front so I don't have to worry about contracts. But other than that, that's kind of where the pros end for me. The video quality isn't as good as you're gonna get on a typical camera. The space that it takes up on my phone filming the daily videos takes up a lot of space. There's not an interchangeable memory card slot for it. So I'm gonna have to constantly be deleting those videos or trying to get them off, which also isn't as easy as just taking a card out and putting it into my computer. The frontal camera, it's nice to be able to see myself, but it's not as good of a quality as the rear camera. And the audio on it is pretty bad. You can get an external mic to plug into it, but with these, now that they've taken away the headphone jack, it makes things a little bit more complicated. Another thing I'm not a huge fan of when it comes to filming video on my iPhone is the zoom, which I'll show you in a little bit when I compare the side-by-side video. When you're filming it horizontally, which is how you should be when you're filming videos on your phone. I know it's different than Snapchat and Instagram and things like that. I'll show you in a little bit in the demonstration comparing the focal length when I turn video mode on my phone versus my camera. And finally, one of the cons when it comes to using my iPhone to shooting video is it's terrible in low light. I know they keep getting a little bit better. It still does not compare to what you're gonna get if you're using a low light lens on a DSLR, or the PowerShot G7X really surprised me when it comes to its ability in low light. We'll compare the 3 in just a little bit. Next up, the Canon PowerShot G7X Mark II. So I haven't been using this camera very long, but in the month that I've had it, I've really fallen in love with it. I've decided I'm going to buy one. It is awesome for vlogging. It has this flip up screen, and I love how it looks. So one thing that I like about this, it's really small. You can fit in your pocket, but be careful because I had it in my pocket and I dropped it. It was a really sad day, but it's still working great. A lot less cumbersome than a big DSLR. The video on it's great. It works great in low light. It has a memory card that you can take out. The audio on it is really good, surprisingly. I wasn't expecting that. There's not a place where you can put an external mic or a hot shoe if you wanted to attach a light or a microphone or something like that, but it has great audio, so you don't really need that, and it works well in low light, so you don't have to worry about that too much. Two of the things that I'm not super fond of about this camera, the position of the microphone is a little awkward. It took me a while to realize this, but I would be filming like this, and then I would come back later and realize that the audio was a little bit muffled. So the microphone is right on top of the camera, so I had to be mindful of that and make sure that I'm shooting with my fingers to the side. So sometimes I still forget and it gets in the way and I get kind of frustrated about that, but once you get used to it, it's not so bad. Also, the battery life on this thing isn't that great. When I would film a vlog like the entire day, I realized by the end of the day, especially when I was in Israel, the battery would be dead. So I'm definitely gonna be getting a backup battery when I get one of these things so that I can always have one charging, because the battery is kind of small, and if you're doing a lot of filming on it, it might not last you through the whole day. We've talked about the iPhone 7 Plus and the Canon PowerShot G7X, and now we're going to talk about the Canon EOS 80D. Now, I will say that this camera is probably a lot if you're just starting out in vlogging and you're not sure if you're gonna like it, but if you know, hey, this is what I wanna do, I wanna get into it, you don't have a camera already for pictures, this is probably not gonna be a bad way to go, because you're gonna get a good camera for your pictures and your video all in one. The Canon EOS 80D has beautiful video. It has interchangeable lenses. If you want to do video that has more depth, you can switch to a lens like I have a 50mm lens that's 1.4, or if you have a 1.8, you can film and then you can blur out the background behind your subject. You can do some really cool things when it comes to focusing, which I'll demonstrate in just a little bit. And this also has a flip out screen so you can see what you're filming if you're filming yourself. You know, that makes it convenient. You can also tilt it if you're filming different angles. Something I like to do is tilt it all the way down when I'm filming straight down on something. This is a great all-around camera. Some of the pros, it has Wi-Fi, it has a hot shoe mount if you need to put a microphone here. If you're really serious about vlogging, you're probably gonna want an external mic. You could also put a light here, wireless mics. The cons, of course, this is a lot bigger than the other two cameras. So if you're trying to film yourself like this, it's not exactly easy to do that. I've done it before, it is possible. I recommend getting something like a GorillaPod. All right, now that I've broken down the pros and cons of those three cameras, we're gonna take it out for a test run so you can see the difference and how they shoot. All right, so this right now I'm shooting on the Canon PowerShot G7X Mark II. I'm in my somewhat dimly lit playroom. I'm just kind of zoom around here, it's really messy. Also, I say playroom, but really over here is where I was shooting the first part of this video with my desk and stuff. So I'm going to now switch to my iPhone so you can see the difference. So this is exact same spot. Now I'm on my iPhone so you can see the difference. Not quite as bright, but it is automatically adjusting the brightness as I turn away and towards the light and things like that. It's a lot wider with this lens, but I'm just going to show you when I flip it around, it's closer. It's hard to explain, but I'll show you in a minute. So this is this camera. So this is the exact same spot, shot with my iPhone 7 Plus. You can judge for yourself the difference in quality. All right, and now this I'm shooting with my Canon EOS 80D. So this, I'm holding my arm out, it's already getting tired. I would normally have it on my GorillaPod, but I have my other camera hooked up to it, so I'm not gonna switch it out. And I'm just kind of giving you a sense of how it would be vlogging if you were trying to hold it out. This I have on manual, like all my settings are manual, so I adjusted it to the light how I wanted it. Here's my daughter, she's about to give us a demonstration going the other direction with the three cameras. So I have all my settings manually. I have it zoomed all the way out. I just have the kit lens on it, my 18 to 55mm, The ISO is at 4000. The aperture's at 3.5 and the shutter speed's at 80. But I could definitely, there's room for more light, but you can tell the difference in quality, I guess, for yourself. Now I'm going to switch all these cameras around, have my daughter do a few flips, and show you the difference when I'm filming a subject.
I'm just gonna do with the handstand.
Okay, do a handstand.
I'm not good with those either because I keep taking over, but I'm gonna try.
Just go.
That's a handstand.
Walk over. Okay, so this is all on the EOS 80D. I did not hook an external mic up to this, so what you hear is how it sounds straight out of the camera. Say, this is the PowerShot G7X.
This is the PowerShot G7X.
Okay.
I'm gonna do random.
Okay, do one round off now.
No, I'm gonna do random things.
Oh, okay, now I'm switching cameras. All right, now we are on the iPhone. So you can tell the big difference here. It doesn't really adjust that much. Since that window's open, it's having a hard time deciding what color it should be. And it's automatically zoomed in a ton. This is not the zoom lens. This is standing in the exact same spot as it was before. But you can see how it automatically puts me a lot closer than the other two cameras did.
I'm gonna do random things now, since I pretty much showed you all of them.
Right now I'm holding the PowerShot G7X. What you're looking at is the EOS 80D. So you can see how there's depth. See my daughter's feet behind my camera, like her real feet, and then you can see her feet in the picture. See how there's a little bit of depth there? I'm going to show you what that looks like if you compare it to the iPhone. All right, so same thing with the iPhone. There's a little bit of depth difference from the between the camera and her feet, but you can tell that it's not as defined as the other, not quite as artistic. Now I'm tapping my screen right now to have it focus on her feet, and you can tell that the camera's out of focus now, and then back into focus. Now I'm going to switch again to my other camera and show you the difference. It's really hard to hold both of these. Okay, here we go. Focus on the camera. Focus on her feet. Focus on the camera. Focus on her feet. So, more dramatic difference there. So now, I'm holding the EOS 80D, and it's a lot harder to tap the focus on this one, but I'm gonna try my best. Let's see. Okay, now it's focused on my hand, focused on her feet. So with this lens, the kit lens, it's not a macro lens, so let's see how close it'll let me get and stay in focus. It's actually staying in focus better than I thought. But if you really wanted to get really close and get details, a macro lens would be what you'd want to put on this, but this isn't doing that bad. Same toe shot, this time with the iPhone. So you can't see quite as many details, but you can get really, really close. And last toe shot, this time with the G7X. See how close we can get with this.
Go closer.
I'm trying. You keep wiggling. There we go. Okay, so you can get pretty close with this too. Hopefully this video was helpful in you choosing your next video camera. If you have any questions, leave a comment letting me know. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And also, if you have any other requests on a video you'd like to see in the future, just drop that in the comments too. Also, in the description box, I am going to leave links to all of these cameras where you can buy them. Thanks so much for tuning in, and I'll see you Thursday. One thing that I love, totally dropped it.